Okay, 1956 Belair. Yeah, access the batteries which are behind that cover. And just gently box up everything here. Nothing gets damaged or lost while we work on the vehicle. Apparently there's an intermittent no start. Now it's like we're clear on what the complaint is. The customer suspects that it might not be enough amperage all the time to run both the high torque starter and the fuel injection system on this. So before I do anything here today, I want to make sure that our batteries are in good shape, which are buried back over there. Okay. Put it down this way. There you go. Another brand new yoga mat. Okay. There's some wires there. Can I get around those clamps? Oh, my amp clamps. Not going to be able to get around that at all. There's a battery disconnect. I'll take a we got two 6-volt batteries in series. Pop these caps off. Oh. And of course, my tester's not going to span across the two of those. Well, shit. Excuse my language. Frustration. Oh, maybe. Sometimes you get situations where the owners of these type of vehicles will wonder why things take longer than your average vehicle to work on. Well, because your batteries used to be in your engine bay, not buried in your trunk. So just to run a battery test and checks and stuff like that. Everything just takes longer. Okay. Well, I got some hookups right there. See one cheat. That one. That one. Spiral wrap. Yeah. Spiral wrap batteries. Yeah, I gotta get the voltage off, or the amperage off those. Bear with me. Of course I got the wrong size.
Okay. Come on. Careful, careful, careful. Done. Okay. Negative there, positive there. Get on there. You light up? Of course you don't light up because you're weird ass. There's an upper one here. Yeah, let's just go to that one. And that one. So at least we're eliminating the shut-off switch. And vehicle hasn't started up, so we don't have to worry about turning the lights on. Spiral, we're cranking that 800. Yeah. Still says that they suck. Okay, let's look for battery leaks or battery drains. Okay. Actually, be more careful with. Put something down to protect it. Okay, they're brand new ones. Okay. Now scoop. So sweep. Okay, anything coming out of here? Let's see. I've got this little one here. Actually, anything on the ground side? Ground side has less cables, and I can get around that. Setup trace one. Goes right down to okay. Set up. Now we want to live data. There we go. Well, that's a decent drain right now. That's a big drain. Now, well, let's see here. Take this off here.
Oh, see. Okay, let's come over here. Try it again. No, I'm not even touching anything. One thing you had to watch out for. It says that there's a drain right now, there's not. Let's zero this. Zero in place. Okay, now we're zeroed. Put the amp cap back around. That's why I quite like to put it all through a big long jumper cable where I can keep it away from the vehicle. Why is there so much interference around here? That I don't get. 0.6, 0 out. I'm down to 0.2. I can't trust this. I'm getting a whole bunch of ghost readings. I'm not even around anything. I'm getting ghost readings here. I think it's because right behind here are some amps. Yeah. I get away from the amps. Even over here. Oh crap. Oh. Okay. Gonna have to break open the system. Before I do that though, let's test the way it is. I don't know how many chances I'll get because it's an intermittent no start. And if it screws up, I get one shot to see it. So I need to hook up some test locations, see what's going on.
Test.
Yep.
Pressure.
Yep.
Pressure tester.
Yep. Okay. Yeah. Come on, get out there. Unfortunately, we can't click right on those. No, I have to go here and here. Okay. Okay, I took two down here.
Do you
up?
have one of those little thermometers that you put in the dash?
No, I just use my thermal imager.
Okay.
Yeah. You know where that is? Yeah. Okay. Are you going to go for me? I'll stay on there. There you go. And then you, comes from, so the battery goes right to this, and then from here we're into the other equipment here, so that comes off that one. These two go up into the vehicle. I was not sure which one's which. Just see what it is at the best bar as a whole. That's easy to click onto. Okay, I got one more. And try to get right onto the Phytech power supply. And so, bear with me. Okay. All right. To the Phytech itself. Oh. Not you. It's a nice big red wire. Where is it? Ah, there it is. The back probe going down there. Looks like it's made contact. Good. Okay. So what do I have here? Keep it on the chrome. Keep it on the chrome. So blue. Some more Phytech. Yellow is battery. Red is the starter post. And then green is the bus bar. Okay. Let's plug these all in. Come on, man, work with me here. Oh, I may have to extend those. These ones smell of beach. Green. Green, red, and blue. Yeah, we're going to get nice long extensions for the back. Okay. That sucks, but that's okay. That is why we have these. So even though those are nice long test leads of 10 feet, it's not enough. Okay, so red, you go right off that post there. Stay with me now. Now, I'm worried about a voltage drop today because we're still going to be measuring what we can. No amperage going through these things, it's just a sense. So, I'm not going to have a voltage drop. Again, why are we doing all this? Oh, because it's an intermittent issue, and we don't know how many chances we're going to have to test this. So, 4-channel lab scope will hopefully give us a one-time picture. Now, if you're worried about running interference and you're looking to ground everything, you can stack these and put them all into another ground to the chassis. But we're not worried about that right now. So, what I got? What I got? One 4-channel lap scope. Oh, right now everybody has voltage, except for number 3, blue. Can I see it up here? Okay, let's make sure we have good contact here. Okay, it's not changing. Might be going through a relay. Okay. Yeah, there it goes. She's alive. So it's down so we can see the screen here. Okay. So we see everywhere right across the board. Our minimum and maxes. Let's save this file before we lose it. Save all frames. What's my RO number? Let's look that up on our system. $65.97 is the RO number. 56 there, and this was a voltage drop. Okay. Okay. Here's our cranking area. Now what we got here? 1087, 1053, 1033 on blue, 1056, nothing's 12. But strong crank, and that should be more than enough voltage to fire the injectors. If we get down around 8 volts, you're going to get an issue. So even though the batteries are weak, according to that one test, I'm not totally convinced that they are. Yeah, let's see what happens when this thing starts. And keep in mind, I did not hear a fuel pump. You as well?
Yep.
Okay. Key off. Key back on. I can. Oh yeah, I heard the fuel pump. Very faint. Good install. I think it must be an end tank one. Anyways, cranking. What our injector duty cycle is. Oh, no injector duty cycle. Why aren't our injectors firing? Oh, isn't that curious? See, a target RPM is jumping around. Fuel pump. How does percent for the fuel pump? And 12.3, 12.4. Oh. You see how low that got? Yeah, going way down. Actually blinked out there. Where's my RPM? Right there. See an RPM. Okay. Let's try that in full throttle. Flood clear mode. If I crank it long enough, it doesn't want to start. Why don't I have an injector duty cycle? It's not firing the injectors. It should have been. Well, I'm going to put a booster pack on this now and look into why the injectors aren't firing. Okay, been on the charger for a few minutes. Let's see what we got here. Focus. Focus. Oh, I'll narrate it to you. Okay, here we go. Looking for an injector duty cycle. Still nothing. Huh. Why is that? Why do I have a 0? And how fast is my crank now? Now that's been charging up. 140. Spiked up to 200. Weird. So, let's have a look at this. Volt code. Maybe that's why our injectors aren't firing. 4 injectors, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to go have to look up these codes and see why they're there. Might just be from low voltage, and that's why they're not firing anymore. I have to clear this off. We'll see.